What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the Us vs. Them YouTube channel. I'm your host, Vince, and we're going to break down the next fight for the upcoming fight night that we have this weekend for UFC Qatar. We got Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Shamil Gaziev. Right now, Cortes-Acosta is at a slight favorite at a minus 144, and Gaziev is at a slight underdog at plus 118. Before I get into this breakdown, if I could just remind you guys, hit the like for this video, subscribe to my channel, all that stuff. I really appreciate that, and let's just get into this breakdown. First and foremost, we have to state the obvious. This is like a two-day short notice fight for Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Initially, this fight was supposed to be held between Sergey Spivak and Shamil Gaziev, but Spivak fell out earlier this week, and then all of a sudden, Waldo Cortes-Acosta is getting the call up, and here he is making a short notice turnaround, which he's kind of been known to do, and that's who we have for this fight. I think that this is going to be kind of it's a crazy change of pace for Shamil Gaziev, who's coming in this weekend thinking he's going to fight a grappler, and then all of a sudden, at the last minute, the final hour, that grappler falls out, and all of a sudden you got a guy that's got really good footwork and likes to throw overhands coming his way. So not somebody that's going to grapple, but somebody that's definitely going to look to strike and look to take his head off. So I don't know if that change of pace is really going to help Shamil Gaziev this weekend. One thing we know about Waldo Cortes-Acosta is that he's not going to be looking to get any takedowns this weekend, this fight or any other fight. But we also know that he has really, really good takedown defense. We saw that in the Sergey Pavlovich fight. He also showed that in other fights before. He showed in the past that was kind of a hole in his game or somewhere that can be exploited. But recently I think that he's really improved a lot in the takedown defense, and it's starting to kind of turn into one of his strengths. I do not see that the takedowns happening at all this weekend. I think both guys are going to be able to keep this a striking fight, and I don't see Shamil Gaziev being able to land any of the takedowns this weekend. And I think Cortes-Acosta, like I said, he's really, really improved in the takedown defense, so he's going to be able to keep this a striking bout where he prefers to keep it. And honestly, I think Shamil Gaziev is probably going to be looking to keep the fight on the striking, at least in the beginning of the fight. I do believe Cortes-Acosta is going to have a lot of advantages when it comes to the striking. One of the things that he's going to have the advantage in is in his hand speed. I think he's going to be able to touch the target a lot faster and easier than Shamil Gaziev. And I think what's going to also make it easier is his athleticism. I think Cortes-Acosta is just overall a better athlete. He's got better footwork, and he can go forward, backwards, and side to side, just better than Shamil Gaziev. I think Shamil Gaziev just likes that pressure forward that we see. We saw that in his most recent fight where he just was a buzzsaw and going forward. But, Cortes-Acosta is not Thomas Peterson. He's not these guys that Shamil Gaziev has been kind of running through. This guy's going to actually give you real resistance. He's actually going to meet you in the middle, and he's actually going to use his footwork and his athleticism to work his offense. So that's what's going to make Cortes-Acosta different than past opponents for Shamil Gaziev. Shamil Gaziev only has one pro MMA loss, and that was in the UFC, under the UFC banner, and that was to Jairzinho Rozenstruik. When you go back and watch that fight, you'll see that Rozenstruik really takes over the fight, and it's because of his speed and athleticism where he's able to kind of take control of the fight. When you look at some of the guys that Shamil Gaziev has kind of ran through, it's always those blobbier, non-athletic, fat heavyweights that, just don't really stand a chance against him. So fighting a guy like Waldo Cortes-Acosta, who's kind of the epitome of athletic heavyweights. I'm not saying the guy's the most freaky athlete in the world by any means, but compared to a lot of the other guys in the UFC and the heavyweight division in the UFC, Cortes-Acosta is a very high level athlete. So I think a lot of those things is going to for a lot of those reasons, I think Cortes-Acosta is going to dominate this weekend. So for my official prediction, give me Cortes-Acosta. I think Shamil Gaziev's giant head is going to help him this weekend, and that durability is going to help him. So give me Cortes-Acosta by decision. But we saw in this last fight that Cortes-Acosta's got big power in his hands too. So I think the KO prop is definitely live here. That's all I got for you guys in this breakdown. Stop by for my next breakdown where I'm giving you the final fight for the main event this weekend. That's between Horiguchi and Tagir Ulanbekov. That fight will be sick. I'm really excited for that one. I'm really excited to see how Horiguchi does and responding to coming back to the UFC after being away for almost 10 years. So, yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm done talking. I'm done rambling. And I'm the fuck out of here.